Clay, little Clay.
Okay, hey, that's good. I like that.
Big Clay.
Okay, try that all over again.
Chase. Little Clay. Teresa. Clayton.
I love it. Okay, thank you.
You don't have to.
Oh, there's Mars. She's down by my mom.
Okay, give me names.
Doug. Look at the camera. Okay. Then Tristan. This is Felicia. Just got a haircut. Oh, Tristan is 10. Felicia's got a haircut. She's 8. We got the next redhead. He's 6. This is Oren. And then our youngest one is Deandra. She's 4. Just turned 4. So wave everybody at the camera. Wave at the camera, because we're on TV right now.
Only time in your life.
Okay. Next.
Where's Mason? Wave.
There you are. You gotta wave.
Tell who you are. Say, I'm Simone.
Okay. Ready? Are we done? Maybe I can hide it. Now, aren't you going to come and sit?
Don't get fresh now, Ray. This is a family picture.
You don't have no family.
Yes, I do.
I mean,
I don't know if I need a flash in here.
No, I wouldn't think so.
That's a good shot.
22.
22. Woo! 22. How old are you, Linda?
Oh, I'm not that old.
That's old enough that you don't ask that question.
I'm 44.
All right, everybody just kind of look up and smile.
Twice as old as my daughter. We're never going to catch up.
now,
Right, Mom?
No, I just started.
You can tell how old I am. I'm going to catch a bass this big.
All over now.
Hey,
Thank you.
okay, that's right. They were. Run.
the sun is getting hot.
Why? Tell Oren to run. There we go. Huh? Tell Oren to run.
Where is he?
Come on, Oren. Run. Get over here. Fast as you can.
We still have hearing.
Hurry up. He doesn't. There's Melvin. Melvin's taking a picture.
Now we got him.
There we go. Okay.
Now we got him.
Okay, now we're all here. One big quick chest out. Everybody smile. Focus it good, Mel.
Did you get Cindy in here somewhere? No, she's gone.
Turn
Oh,
around.
she had to go to work. Oh, my.
Get out in front.
You guys are looking down instead of looking up.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, it's the sunshine. Yes, it's hot in my eyes. That sun is hard on your brain. Speaking my
All right. All right. Something like a football.
You got everybody?
Say when.
Cheese whiz. I got that.
I gotta take 2 small.
You done?
Art's still forward.
Well, I just keep right on rolling. I try to get close-ups now and then.
Got wheels now, so he's out running. How old are you, Kelly? 17. 17.
3 months I'll be 18 now.
Last Christmas, we had a wrestling match.
Dad in trouble now?
Time's on his side. not mine.
Really?
Better get it. Oops.
Thank you, Oren. Okay, is that good? No, one more with milk because I want one of those explosive. Well, we've got this video anyway going. It is going? Yeah. You're going?
Yeah, you got a cheese though.
Cheese. We're cheesing. The other day I heard it was cherry.
Oh, cherry. Oh, here comes another camera. You aren't done yet.
No.
This is Constance Kendall. Heavy. They call me Dewey at the hospital. Yeah,
Do it.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get some close-ups.
This is my brother Daryl. This is my other brother Daryl. You said that last reunion, Clay. Oh, I forgot what that was. Yeah.
That's enough.
Hey, let's do the age.
No.
Start with Mom.
How's the still cameras done?
35.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Everybody's done.
All right, I got
Can we
you.
go now?
Yeah, you're free now. Now you can clean up, Dwight.
It's tea time. Thanks, Art. Thanks, Art.
You bet.
Come on.
Okay, come on. It's time.
Between find a pool and arena,
There's Daddy.
Boy, this is a tough fight.
Can't see his mom.
Mama's hand.
There you go.
Wayne?
Oh.
Okay, zoom in on the little one.
That it?
Can you zoom in on the little one? Press your key, the front button, and see if you can just get...
No, even years ago.
Smile.
You betcha.
Tristan, stay there.
Okay, so let's have a word of prayer. And this is kind of a special moment with all of our loved ones. Why don't you just kind of hold hands with the person next to you here, and we'll pray, and then we'll have Spike lead. And,
How do I get in?
Hey, I got the two snacks. There we go. Lord, we are so glad to be here, and we love you, and we love each other. And we just experience this kind of a wonderful atmosphere every time we get together with our dear ones. We want to give you the credit for that and to worship you at this moment in time. To bow our hearts before you. To acknowledge once again that you are God and that you are good, though we don't understand you, yet we do know this, you are good to us. And we thank you for this good food, and we ask that you would bless it. We pray that you'd continue to work in our lives and help us all to draw closer to you. Thank you again for this wonderful day. In the name of Jesus Christ we pray. And everybody said,
Amen.
okay. Now there's turkey. Start over here. And up.
And I'm just going to stay in little campgrounds and avoid
For about a month.
take some of your clothes along, and it might go good.
Yeah, there, here's a silver. You want it? Okay. Okay, you can get the silver and go right through. All time.
I use psychology to make clean areas. But psychology means people like Wade. That's one negative about someone. That there's so few people that have credentials who are normal and intelligent who are really going to deal with it from yeah, instead of we don't want to make them feel bad, so we'll just tell them so. That's a great thing. Good. All right.
Mason, calling me by the wrong name, I know it's Mason, but I haven't been in touch with
Okay, we'll do one shot this. You wanted this good dessert? And here, they hardly brought in dessert. I can't work.
Food inspector.
Good.
Sure, it doesn't come to scratch.
Mom, where's that sharp letter you said you had?
Hey. Hi, I was wondering if I was seeing you.
There's electric one over there.
Hi, Linda. I went out with her. Yeah, and then you run your mom around.
Wait a minute.
Don't wait for the end, just
Right behind me, right behind you.
I got cold. Better than your mother. You gotta get some of that. I know. You gotta be a good helper.
Yeah, very good.
Sure you do. I love you.
That's the guy to
Hey,
get.
Margie.
Hi, Brooke.
Oh,
How are you doing?
not like a milk. You get so big.
This is on your AG.
Well, that's for second. I don't want to eat it all the first time. That would be second. Well, I assume he didn't hear. He didn't call, but Michelle called and they were there. Hey.
Now I'll get you where I can recognize you.
I didn't. I just raised the spoon right there. I said, oh,
You're supposed to be the first in line. I said, I don't
you can take your sign off. You're frozen, huh?
Did you get to the food
That looks so much better on the camera than the old hide the face trick. Oh, she's learning.
Are you gonna?
She's getting better.
What?
I think I'll keep her.
It took 45 years to learn.
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh, really? Well, they got a lot of food here to get rid of.
Bread and water, that's what they did at home.
I don't think being last in line is going to hurt here. Well, I'm a breakfast person and then supper. Always that.
I bought this because I I don't like to mix my food, I like to separate.
And it's her family.
All my food go into one spot.
This is sauerkraut, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, that's why I took it, I wasn't sure.
Simon's made that. It's great. Great.
Last night I thought you were going to carry me away. You got room for a lot, but they aren't strong enough to hold all that. Just
Everything's got to go take Lucy, we have to be careful of what.
Oh, you gotta take it. See where I stuck my mouth.
Look at that.
what I'm going to do it.
You gotta see me stuck my mouth. Yeah, you know who tried to get me the then I put peanut butter in it and then
Linda's learning really good. I really like the way she reacts.
I've pretty much given up on coffee. I drank more coffee at Donna's than all I have in a long time.
Say what a blessing Mom and Dad have been to us. So I get to start out. It all began when I was born. This won't be long. Well, actually, I'm thinking about that. When you're young, you know, you don't appreciate some of the things that you have until you get a little bit older, and all of a sudden you don't have them anymore. I was thinking about the times we used to all get together with Grandma and Grandpa at every one of your houses, remember? And there'd be 1,000 screaming kids on Christmas Eve, all running around, and then there'd be Uncle Art doing his thing with the camera. I still remember those old cameras that needed all the lights. And so he'd go walking around, and he knew he was coming through because the lights would be coming around the corner. It reminded me of these deep sea divers, you know, down there taking pictures of these funny fish. So anyway, everybody would be scurrying, and it hurt your eyes to look at the lights and everything. But I remember getting a videotape, as some of you do too, of Art's family histories. And I remember watching that, and the kind of feelings that it went through my heart as I watched that. I'm sure appreciative of all that historical work. But it just causes me to remember some really great times that we had together. And that's one of the times we're enjoying right now, is something we'll look back and, you know, we'll never have this day again. It'll never be quite the same. Some of us perhaps won't be here next time, and but we just want to appreciate it and enjoy it while we have it. I guess the first thing I want to say about Mom and Dad is, you know, this day almost didn't happen quite a long time ago. Some of you know that Dad was in an accident when he was quite a bit younger. I don't remember how old I was, but he had hit a great big light pole out in front of the old Walsh's store there where the True Value is now. And he hit it and knocked himself out, and it wasn't the actual accident, the internal injuries that bothered him so much, but the cold weather almost froze him to death. Anyway, when they got to the scene of the accident, they thought he was dead. And I remember my mom on the phone calling someone or whatever, and she's bawling and crying, and I'm just a little guy, and finally she comes over and gives me a great big hug and says, "Oh, Kirk, your daddy's dead." And I'm thinking, what's dead? I was that young at the time. Well, I'm thankful to God that I'm thankful that he looked at my dad and said, "Live." Because that's exactly what happened. Anyway, he gave me my dad back. So anyway, now we can enjoy our 45th wedding anniversary, because God said live. And I'm appreciative of that. I think it's right for us to thank God for the every day He gives us, and for the goodness that He has shown to us. So we have a lot to be thankful for. I remember so many times what my dad meant to me over the years, but the very first time I can remember it at all was we were over, remember when Grandma and Grandpa had that store down, where was it, by the A&W, remember? And they lived in that little store, and Mel was still in high school at the time, remember? The rest of you guys were pretty much all gone.
Yeah, I got a
But Mel was still there.
Mel.
Mel was still in high school. And anyway, for a while, our family moved in with them, and we lived right with them there. And I remember Mel used to go in there and get a pint of cream, and he'd go and drink that cream down. He just loves cream.
Hey, all right, put it on Mel, on his belly.
It's not true.
That very next year, all that cream turned to muscle because he made a starting place on the football team that next year, and we were also proud of Mel because he could just run over anybody. But anyway, we're living with Mel and Grandma and Grandpa down there, and I think Arnold and Art and some guys, relatives came over, and they're talking fishing, going up to Canada. And I'm just a little shaver, not much taller than one of these tables, running around, and I know my dad's planning on going fishing. So he's going to be gone for a while. But what I didn't expect was towards the end, they're talking about, you know, who's all going and stuff, and they said, you taking Kirk along? And Dad said, yeah, I think I'm going to take Kirk along. And I couldn't believe my ears. What good fortune. And I remember, you know, he didn't know I was listening, but I heard him say, I'm taking Kirk along. And I can't tell you how good that made me feel. I felt like I'm important. My dad wants me to go along.
Did you catch some fish then?
Yeah, we did. We got lots of fish. But that was the first time, and I guess our family has just been that kind of a family. Dad's taken us to ball games, he's taken us fishing, we've gone to Canada a lot. When I first worked at the state hospital, the lady up there in the personnel office said, asked questions about family, and one of the things she asked about was my dad and how old he was. And he was about 20 years older than I am, and she said, really? He could be your brother? And I remember telling her, yeah, he is. And that's the kind of dad we've got. More of a brother. And just been enjoyable sharing life with Dad. And then when it comes to Mom, Judy, I don't want to, there's so many things we could say, but I think the thing that best epitomizes who Mom has been for us is Thanksgiving. Because she likes nothing better than to work and get together a great big meal for her family and spread it all out on the table and then watch us eat it. And here's how she does it. We're all sitting there, we got the best places, we got our plates piled high with nice hot food, and we're chowing it down, and she's got her little plate in her hand, and she's running back and forth doing foot service for us. She fixed it all, but you know how it is, all right? She never gets to sit down and enjoy it herself. And that's the kind of mom we've got. It's one who's always been sort of eating on the run, serving, and just doing her best because she loves her family. I guess the last thing I'd like to say is that what I talked about when we first got ready to pray here, we're a family that really loves each other. And my daughter just got married, and she was talking about her in-laws. And she said, you know, they get together and they never say anything. In fact, they'll sit in the same room and not say a thing for hours on end and end up all laying on the floor sleeping. They don't talk. Now I want you to know we talk, and I think that's a sign that we love each other. We enjoy each other. We talk, and you can hear the noise level rise. But that's the way it is with the Walls and the Kendalls and the Swansons and all of us, the Holsworths and the whole thing. We just love each other, and I sure appreciate it. Bible says that as children like arrows in a strong man's quiver, blessed is he whose quiver is full. And that a wise child will rise up and please his father. A foolish one will bring grief to even his mother. You know, mother's the last one that anybody would lose favor with, you know. And so foolishness will even, you know, cause a mom to cry. But wisdom will please even the hardest person to please, and I think that's Dad. And even Dad will be pleased with a wise son. I really hope that we have brought some pleasure and some delight to Mom and Dad as they have to us. Dwight's going to share a little bit, and probably not as long as I do.
Do I need another cup of
you can
coffee?
tell Kirk is a preacher, right? And you can tell he had notes. And he says, Dwight, are we going to say, yeah, fine, we'll go ahead and do this. You got anything planned? I said, no, let's just play it by ear. Let's, yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. No.
Forget anything.
No, I'm going to act like a fool. No, I guess anything I have to say to my mother and father and about them is very easy for me to do. Like I say, I don't have anything planned to say, except I'll say this. And I'm glad I'm second, because I think any one of the members of our family would say the same thing, is my mother and father have taught us the way to salvation. And for that, I am eternally grateful to my mother and father. They have always taught us kids that direction. We've always been able to turn to them for that and ask them questions about that. They both study, they know the Word. And that's what we're here for. That's what we're all here for right now. That's what we're here for. And to know the way. And I am so thankful for that. I don't know that I can say anything else, but I'm grateful, Mom and Dad, for that. That's about all I have to say. I can tell you stories though.
I was going to leave and come back for it.
He's surprised you didn't.
Yeah.
Connie, you have to realize this. We've got a tea time.
Okay?
Leonard, there's the food.
I didn't have much time to prepare for this either.
With 45 years.
But what Dwight said is real right on as far as my mom and dad, and they're teaching us, and they still teach us today, and they teach our children. And I thank God that they're still with us, because we are sometimes in need. And they have been there for us in those times. And I hope that there's another 45 years. Our children will be able to share with them the happiness we have don't like to look back on mistakes because we all make mistakes. But my mom and dad never looked down on us. Ever. And I hope my children will look at us as a whole and see the wonderful love and raise their kids in the same way. And that's all I have to say.
I guess I'm next. Hey, is there any between Connor and me? Did I get somebody's coffee from over there? I got 2 of them right now. I need a pair of sunglasses, all right? Kurt just mentioned to me about maybe saying something. And, I'm not going to get this too deep because I won't finish. So anyway, I started thinking about different stories of Mom and Dad. And I try to keep them as funny as possible to keep the tears going. But I started thinking of all the little things that happened. And I didn't know which story I didn't want to bore you all with everything, so I'm trying to think of the juiciest story I could come up with. Dad had about a dozen that were juicy. I started narrowing it down. I didn't know it was the one that, when I was sitting in the Suburban and he was hunting fox, and he spotted a fox out there and I'm in the passenger seat. He goes around the front of the hood, please stay there, and I'll shoot across the hood and yeah, I'm okay. All of a sudden I hear boom and glass in my lap. And the scope had caught the windshield, I didn't realize it. And then I started thinking about the time we went deer hunting. And of course I was the workhorse. He was the king chief, and he let me walk around, and I was out there energetic and walking through the buckbrush, nothing all day, nothing all day, nothing all day. I can't wait for that sun to go down. James down that direction, we get to a road, and I'm thinking left, and he goes right. And, so, anyway, my legs are ready to fall off, and we get find this last spot, and he said, Clay, I know that I've seen buck in there before. There's probably a big buck in these trees here. You want to walk over there? And I just, yeah. No, I don't. And I had a hard time saying no to my dad, but that one time I did say no. I'm done. So he said, well, I'll try it. So he gets out there and starts walking around the buckbrush. He's in the trees, and I thought, all right, you sucker. You get out there and walk. So I get binoculars out, and I'm watching him walk, and all of a sudden I see deer horns. And I drop the binoculars, reach my gun, and hear a shot, and I look up, he's got a buck down. That's one time I should have walked. But I got many more stories. Even the trip back from Canada where he was towing with his brand new Suburban, Kirk's big truck, and Kirk's the Lund 14-foot boat, and he's towing us all the way home from Canada, 500 miles at 30 miles an hour. And there was just a chain, of course, and back and forth for that long a period. There was a personality conflict after a while. And that was funny.
Hey, get to the going to
That was funny afterwards.
where they got Kirk's for putting on the brakes.
I was going to get into all that. Anyway, then I thought, well, there's one story that kind of stands out, is when I was young enough, and Con and me were still sleeping together. Does that sound weird? we were quite young, and Dwight and Les were up in their bedroom, wherever. I think Kirk may have been gone or whatever, but it was that our house back there. And Kirk
Mel was in the basement.
Les and Mel was in the basement, I believe. Mel was in the basement, living with us. But anyway, Les and Dwight were laughing and talking all night. And Dad's trying to get some sleep. He works all day, right? I'm trying to learn what that's all about. And he's trying to get some sleep.
And I could hear Dwight and Les going at it. Of course, Connor and me were laughing and stuff, and all of a sudden it's, "Hey, you kids, shut up!" You know. They'd be quiet for a little while, and all of a sudden, there it goes again. Start getting a little loud, and all of a sudden, it's, "Hey!" That loud voice. Not quiet, but it picked up again. Well, all of a sudden, I hear this thunder coming out of the bedroom. Up the stairs, boom, boom, boom. Well, I'm asleep. I fell asleep immediately. And Connor rolled over, just... And I hear this boom, bam, bam, smash, shingles coming out. Kitchen's falling down. Why? Why? All of a sudden, just stairs, cat walking downstairs. I know, well, I'm okay. Our bedroom door open, I go, oops. All I feel is this. And, well, make a long story short, I was scared. Very, very, I was petrified, actually. I don't remember what he said. I know his mouth was like, I see the concept. Well, I went to bed, and of course the next day I was talking to my mom about it. I never forgot about that. And so I told my mom, she says, "You had a little trouble last night, huh?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Well, that'll teach you to listen to your father, yeah." And I said, "Yeah, Mom, you know what happened?" And she goes, "Well, yeah, a little bit. Your dad put me against the wall." I said, "Well, yeah." And I said, "Yeah, but that's not all, Mom." "Well, what?" "I peed a little." I had the shorts on. Anyway, he did spare the rod, but thank God for that. Oh, Mom. Always has always been patient with him. And always trying to do the best for her. I wish I had more control of him, but there's a lot of love here. When I needed a baseball bat or a hockey stick. We used to play hockey here, and I hated a hockey stick. And I didn't ask for it. I just, man, I needed one. And even after school, and she had it sitting there by the door. And many other things. And I didn't one time need a baseball glove. And I think I asked her that time. And all my friends had the nice gloves, of course. That was a status symbol. You have the deep glove. And of course, I used to hang around Russell Newman. He had all the money. He had the best equipment. Of course, I had to kind of keep up safe. So I said, "Mom, I wanted to get a baseball glove." And she went out and got one. When I came home, she had it sitting there. It was a bad glove. It looked like a corrective glove. And she had it sitting there. She said, "I got your glove," and I'm looking at it. It looks like a big hockey puck. And she said, "How do you like it?" And I said, "I love it." I had to tell her that. "Thanks a lot." I put it on and hit it. And she walks out, and boy, I'm ticked. And I remember Dad coming home. I went outside the porch, and boy, my head was down, ears down. Sad. I gotta go to my friends with a glove on. I don't know what I was gonna do. And Dad came home after work. Walked up the stairs, and I always took his shoes off after work. And happy to see him, and this time a little different. He walked by and he looked back and he said, "What's wrong with you?" And I looked up and I said, "No, Mom bought me a shot glove." So Dad did take me down immediately and got me the glove I wanted. Anyway, a lot of things have been said. I think the tears show it all. But and yeah, I do thank you for all the spiritual teaches you. Help you. We'll take that the rest of our lives. I thank God for that too. And I love you, Dad. Mom and Dad. Hi? I'll be right back. Dad, I want to give you a card. That's great. That's from the family. Boys. I almost feel like I got to tell some jokes now.
Better do something.
Ask them if they want a chance for rebuttal.
Yeah. Well, listen, if anybody wants to say anything, you know, we got a camera here.
Okay.
Want to talk about old stories or anything? There's one right there. Brothers and sisters, and let's.
Some years ago, I won't go back a minute, but Leroy was a hunter and he got these mini deer. And he had got him fixed himself up a rig in his basement for raining deer. And we went over to watch this rig, and I tell you, it was shooting out like whipped cream. Riding up the beach, I forget a little bit of bark or something, but it looked like whipped cream coming out of his mouth. That's what I remember about it.
Evelyn has always been very dear to me, not because I love her especially more than the rest of my family, but she was my age and she and I did a lot of playing together. Elaine was younger, the rest were older and had big responsibilities already, but we'd have to help them, then we would go out and play. And my childhood was completely of Evelyn and I playing out in the ragweed, and I'd always hurry and get all my baking, my mud baking done and all of it. And I'd come knocking at Evelyn's door and I knew she was in more of a putzer and she was still in the midst of it. She says, Evelyn, she says, "Are you sure you've got all your work done?" "Don't you have something to do? I'm baking." And so as the years went by, we still were always in the same town and stuff. And so we married cousins and that made us extra close. And so she lived right in front of me. And I one day walked over, had my work done, and I thought, Boy, I wonder if I get to the door knocker, she'll say, Elder, are you sure? Because she always did a good job, but it was slower than I wanted to. Now, of course, she can work circles around me at this time, but at that time, I was just a little old sweet. And she likes to be very methodical and, you know, get everything done. And she still is like that. She still has to go from point to point. And I appreciate that about her, because as I got older, that was how I did it too. But at the time, I was in a hurry and I had things to do and it wasn't working. And so that's what I remember about Evelyn the most. And of course, it was Leroy, he was Art's cousin. And so we knew each other before they were married and after, and there's been some hard times, but basically through the years, the love has been there, and the concern for their children, and going to church, to the same church I attend, which makes it extra special again. I dearly love her, and I love Leroy, and I'm so grateful to God that we've come through in training colors, and really feel good, and no God has been special.
And Elda, and then what I remember so much of, we used to play church all the time. And this is our minister here. He was on the back porch preaching. No. It was, he was there at the Swivel Farm. He was always standing.
He did some of that.
He was the preacher? Yes, there at the Swivel. And nobody listened.
Arnold was the fire and brimstone preacher.
Yeah.
Jackie gave us a little leeway. He was more liberal.
I was just gonna say, he was a Baptist and you were still the apprentice.
Yeah. And he would stand on that back porch and he would just preach and his little arms thing just go, and he was so little young. But that is the things I remember from little on when we were smaller, and as kids we used to have a lot of fun together as we were kids. We worked hard. We had to work hard, all of us, but we had a lot of fun too. I wouldn't.
When we were just little, we started first. I don't know if she was in school yet, but she and I and Arnold, and in the afternoon, the evening, we'd lay kind of in the hole, watch the clouds, and we'd speculate. Arnold would tell us what he thought the clouds and all these things were. And then we had a playhouse. And I had a playhouse in the bush, in the trees, and she had a playhouse.
And I did too.
And she always came down to my playhouse, and I said, you go home. Well, I'm not done fixing my house. And she always would go like this to me, and I hate this to this day. And so, one time she got me so mad, I threw something at her and I hit her. Oh, God, hit her on the foot. Oh, she started crying. I said, oh, God, in German. Helps nicht wenn ich. I didn't want me to do it.
She isn't telling you that the blood was running down my board. That's what scared me. She threw a piece of glass. It was her plate.
Anyway, we did make telephones with paper cups so we could talk to each other. You know, through the
Tin cans.
But we had a fun childhood.
And pigs and blankets were made out of big leaves with mud.
That's the one thing I was going to say.
Then we tried to...
Especially about the younger ones like Evelyn and Elda and Donna. I found out when they made these pies, these mud pies, they took such tender loving care to make them, and then how generous they were because they always tried to feed it to me.
That's the same way. My childhood, I don't, the money, but I don't know. We never went hungry, and we played and we fought and we played and we got along real great. We thought we were real. Always. didn't have much, never. Right.
I got one story to tell on Arnold, as long as we're telling on each other here. Mom used to tell about her childhood a little bit, and I remember I'd sit there and laugh at all the stories about them growing up. And she had one particular one I liked about Arnold. I believe, Mom, you and Elda used to share a bed together in the bedroom.
Yeah.
And she said they would be in bed, you know, ready to go to sleep, and here'd come Arnold dragging in. And he was in kind of a goofy mood. I don't know why. Maybe it had something to do with the kind of pop he was drinking. But anyway, he'd come in, all right? And they'd hear him. And so they'd try to be real quiet. And up he'd come, sneaking up on them. They'd hear the stairs creaking. They knew Arnold was coming. And he would be on his way, okay? Quiet! Quiet! And Arnold would come, and all of a sudden they hear this voice from the hall. This is Cowboy Slim Reinhardt calling to you from Channel Chase, KSYR, you know, radio with tonight's entertainment. Let's have a song. And off he'd go, singing this song, Cowboy Slim Reinhardt. And he'd sing this song, entertaining his sisters, okay? And then we'll walk quiet again. And they know he's still there. They know he's still there because he wasn't gone. I mean, and it'd be quiet for a long time, and he'd wait for them to just let the guard down. And then he'd come in with another song or something, and then one time Mom said, all of a sudden, she said, over the end of the bed, the leg! And Arnold's hairy leg come over the end of the bed. And they screamed.
They were just afraid of what I was going to do, you know. And then the last bit.
The leg.
That was the last.
Oh, he was fixing camera all right.
He would always have an old guitar, and he'd sit and play, and then
He just liked to do it. And then he'd he'd sign off. He'd say, I'm signing off for tonight. Then he'd be quiet for a little, well, it's today.
Now this is
And I never been able to figure this out. And we were all wrestlers, of course. And we held our own.
How could you put up with a crossface?
Yeah. And I'll never forget wrestling. And I may have been a junior or senior, I don't remember. But I had had pretty good record going. And I think it was my senior year. I already had a state championship under my belt, and, you know. And I was out there wrestling a opponent from, I think it was Valley City or West Florida or wherever. It was in Jamestown. And she's watching the match, of course. And I'm under full control with this guy. 8-0 maybe, whatever. And so I'm gonna look up at Mom on full control. And I look up there, and she's like, why? Why?
I didn't want you to look at it.
Give it to him good.
I'll never get that.
Art, I got one for the camera. Clay and I remember Clayton and Kirk was wrestling at Jamestown College. So we went to a wrestling match to watch this Jamestown College wrestle. Hell, Melvin's got an exhibition match.
Oh, we don't have to tell this story.
All of a sudden, here comes Mel up. Boom, boom. Just a big, powerful guy that he was. And I say was.
When I was green.
But Mel come out, and I'll tell you what. If I had to wrestle Melvin, get out on the mat and see that guy, I might weigh the same, but I wouldn't feel like I did. And here comes this long, lanky, skinny guy. Mel's gonna kill him. Well, this is about playing. I remember Melvin, all of a sudden they flew into each other. Gee, Mel having trouble. Mel having trouble. Next thing I know, all you can see is Melvin's face and his hand right here. There he is. And here we are. He goes. I turned around, Clayton was
because Reno wanted me to stay in shape for football. I knew nothing. He threw me out there as dog meat.
Wait a minute.
I ended up on the...
You must have done that twice.
I ended up on
I got another story.
Well, it's the same time. He just thinks it's different. But I ended up on my back, and you know, I knew the match was about over with anyway. It wasn't a lot, and I just saw these guys file in. I figured I might as well just.
Well, I remember you digging your hand out. And going like this. And Dan and I are walking in, and he gets the dugout and he's waving at us, and I'm never looking back.
I mean, the guy wasn't hurting me. There wasn't much I could do. You know? You're on your back. You know, it's not like pro wrestling where you kick a leg and you fly off.
No kidding, my kids have picked on this guy more. They have picked on him and picked at him, and he wrestled with him and wrestled with him so many times. But they love him to death.
Oh, yeah.
And so do we.
Hey.
But boy, they pick on him.
Doug, I got a story now. Is this your wedding anniversary? We got another story. I got one more I got to tell.
You got a long week.
Yeah. When you were at Mel's at Country Boy Dairy, and he's in there, and he's with Lynn. And
hey, you know, Country Boy Dairy's been good to us.
And Mel had that old blue Chevy or whatever it was.
Yeah. And the 53 your mom and dad bought me. I still own for it.
Okay. Well, anyway.
100?
Better the old man than beat him out of it.
I feel guilty at least once or twice a year.
Yeah.
Well, $135. It had a first gear and a third gear.
And it had brakes.
Yeah.
We remember the
Yeah.
brakes.
Well, it was Doug's idea, of course, but we're outside and Doug says, hey, let's go inside the back seat and get down. So Doug and I, as little as we are, okay, we get in the back seat and we're hiding. He gets in with his girl. They pull out and we're in there. We're trying to hold back our laughter. We did it for about a block or two, and all of a sudden, little that car moved immediately to the side of the curb. Get out! Doug flew out one door, I flew out the other. That's all I remember. You take off.
He gave us the wave again.
Yeah. He used to live with our parents and go out for dates, and Les and I would hang on to his legs and not let him go. And he'd have to shake it, literally go against it.
Now, I want to say something about in defense of Bill. When I was in high school, just sophomore in football, you know, they just run all 100 kids and do everything you can do. There's not enough coaches to go around to do anything, and so you're pretty much up to your own whether or not you're going to mount anything. And of course, the coaches pay attention to their favorites, the guys that have the most promise. For the rest of us, we just kind of stand there watching what's going on. I'll never forget my sophomore year, Uncle Mel coming over, and he had, of course, had a starting spot on the UND freshman team as their first string fullback that year. But he had taken time to come down and spent the whole practice, morning, afternoon, whenever he was there, he's always there. Okay, Kirk, this is how you do it. Going through the motions. I learned so much from you, Mel. I'll never forget all the time he took teaching me how to play football and teaching me how to wrestle. How many times we spent out on the mat there wrestling, and then I think even in that little store that we had, where Grandma and Grandpa lived down talking about earlier, we just gotten through a school. And so here we come in and we throw our books away and we're all done. And Mel gathers us all together and says, this is how algebra is done. And he says, you know what, after he teaches us an algebra lesson, then he says, you know, if you want, through this summer, we could go through a course in American history. He's serious. And he says, and I could teach you guys something a little every day, and we could have tests at the end. I could even give you grades.
How old was he?
We thought.
I can't remember that.
I remember it. And now as I remember it, again, I keep thinking back, I say, no, God makes certain people a certain way. the teaching, the coaching, the wrestling, and I'll say this much about Mel, Uncle Mel. He made you to be a teacher and a coach and someone who pours his life out on other people, and we all really do appreciate it. We love you.
I could have been a wrestler, but he started too late.
And was that guy lucky?
Yeah.
No, hey, I've got one story I'd like to tell about Uncle Leroy.
Is it good?
It's pretty good. And the only reason I'm telling it, it was some advice he gave me, and I think it might fit everybody else someday. We were on the golf course together. I don't know if he remembers this because we've golfed, everybody's golfed together at one time or another, but we were playing golf, and I was telling him about a little problem I had with my taxes in the IRS. And he looked at me and said, whoa, I know about the IRS. And he proceeded to tell me about some problems he had with the IRS, and the story took about 9 holes. And when we got in, I realized, man, my problem wasn't big at all. His parting words to me were, as he leaned over the top of the car and I was walking away, he goes, Doug, don't mess with the IRS. He says, don't mess with the IRS, they're Gestapo.